Hey, it's Dave Buzzard. I'm a commercial photographer based here in Whistler, BC. So I do a lot of newspaper work, and here's one of my assignments from last night at a drag show in the Britannia Beach Mining Museum. Now, I've actually already downloaded and renamed these files, so we will touch on the renaming thing on another time. But the first thing we're going to do is open it in Photo Mechanic. So you take this and you drag it over to just on the other screen that you can't see, and just but drop it on the photo mechanic icon and it'll open right up. Now we've already renamed this, so we just call it new. I just called it New Queen so I can identify it and the year, because I did this show last year as well, and I already put some information on it, so we know what this file is if we come back at a later date. So the New Queen's drag, so and so. And that's on all of the folders. And again, I'll get into that another day. Now, this is the magnifying tool. So you get the whole screen. Now you can, what we're going to do is select photos. So it's like culling. Um, but this is, it's, we'll select these. And you can do this a bunch of different ways. Like you can give it a code here of stars, 5-star, 4-star, whatever. I find that's not very intuitive, so we'll just take those stars off. You can add a color rating, which is what I do, and I'm not sure exactly the way to do this with a mouse click. But if you just hit the 1 on your keyboard, it turns it red, or 2 turns it yellow, and 3 turns it green, and so on. We don't really want this photo because you can see the sun is coming through the window here and blowing this all out and kind of not making it such a great photo. So I'll just hit 0, which takes it off. And we're going to start flicking through this. And the reason we use Photo Mechanic is very, very, very fast, built for news photography. Has a bunch of ingestion things you can do with it. And, it'll automatically rename things and add IPTC data and whatever. But I just use it for, sorting things into folders. Much, much quicker than Lightroom, which we use for processing. So, anyways, we'll go through, and you can flick from one frame to the other using the arrow keys on your keyboard, which is much easier than doing this, one at a time. So you can just see it just goes right across. The focus by hitting the Z key, and you can see it clicks over into the zoom here. Let me just bring the arrow over. And you can zoom into one, like half size or whatever. But, 100 will tell you the focus. And with this fog in here is really kind of mess things up a bit. So there we go. Hang on. First one is fine. Is sharp. Yeah, there we go. And we'll grab that. Yeah, I like that. And here she is. Oh, got some fireworks. So let's lose this first one. And you can see the difference between the light here and the light here. So you can see where she's over here is a little darker because there just isn't time to change the exposure on the camera. Automatic or programmed exposure isn't going to do you a lot of good in here because you can see here costume's almost completely black. So, if you're tight in on it, that's your meter is going to read all of this material. And no matter how sophisticated it is, it's just going to blow the exposure out. So you're better off to get modern cameras have massive exposure latitude. So you can, if you're a half a stop, 3/4 of a stop off, it's not going to really matter too much. We'll fix it in post. That's why we never shoot anything in JPEG. That's a nice shot. And you can see the smoke from the smoke cannons here is lit up the sun, or the sun's lit up the smoke. So we're going to probably do something in post with that. Let me grab that. And that's nice. Actually, that's better. She's sticking her tongue out there. Okay, so anytime you've got a, you know, uh, like interaction with the crowd, just always grab a shot of that. So, and you can see that it's underexposed and the color's off, but don't worry, we'll fix it. Performer was really good. Like the mustache. So, and you can see shooting through the smoke really causes you problems. And if you come over to the histogram here, you'll see a big. It's pushed all of the dark spaces over to the right here. So we will fix that in post as well. So, okay, that's nice. Got the fireworks, and that's a pretty good shot too. Yeah, they had a little raised dais, which worked pretty good for. Yeah, it's a nice shot. Now I got in behind, and you can actually see the scope of the mill here and the smoke coming through. So I'm gonna grab a couple of ones here. This Daniel, the organizer, I don't really want him in it, but okay, I like that. A couple of the performers backstage, it was kind of neat. So I like that. Yeah. Oh, here she comes. Oh, okay, so that is relatively in focus. So I think the other shots is not, but I like that. And this would make a really nice black and white. So, or at least a pretty decent black and white. I don't like that. So. And a couple other performers backstage. Just you could see all the sparkles off of her costume here on the floor. It's kind of neat. So this lady with the camera here is Amber Bracken from the Narwhal. She's the photo editor, and she happened to be in town on another assignment and had the weekend free, so decided to show up. It's one of Canada's more noted photojournalists and a very nice person. So I'll send her a copy of that for her Instagram account. So I like this guy's costume. So, and you see the lower point of view here is causing us some problems with the audience, but I mean that's life. So she was really good too. I liked her. So yeah, okay. So I like that. So she came off there and walked right by me. So I got my other camera up as fast as I could with the wider lens, and so first shot is totally gone, and that turned out really nice. So, and there she is up on the top of the stage. Say the cameras are way out of sync, so and that's not so bad either. So, okay, yeah, that'll work. We'll take that one off. Totally androgynous. So I like you can see the facial expression there. So let's and at this point I'm just holding my camera up over my head and hoping for the best. So yeah, I like that. Lots of raised fits being Pride Month and everything. So that's nice. I kind of like that with the arms. Now you see the color has gone completely crazy in here, so we will fix that. All right, we are back. Now the reason why I'm using these colors instead of the little star things, these little pips here, is because you can just cycle through and see them really easily. And So we're going to come up to edit here with Photo Mechanic and zip down to select color class, red. Now we've got 106 out of 387. Now it's still way too many photos. So what we're going to do is put these into a folder called Initial. So we're going to go, there is a copy command in here. I just, oh yeah, copy move. But it's Command Y, so I usually just do that. For the most part, rename, copy, delete photos, save as, But Command Y is something I use all the time. So, and this will tell you the folder and the folder structure. So it's actually in a separate hard drive, the solid state 2005, Queens, etc. So here we go. And I actually did this and had a problem with the recording, so I've done it again. So we're going to go back to this and create a new folder. Call it Queens Initial. And it won't let you do this, so we're going to call it 2. Okay, create, open, and then copy. If you want to move them, you'll get this key here. It says move photos, delete originals. I just copy them over and leave these ones. And Photo Mechanic, because they realize that things get done in a hurry, this is by default when it opens empty. So you have to click it, and then if you want to do it again, you have to go click it again. So, but hard drives are cheap, so we're just going to copy that over. And that doesn't take too long. It's up a new contact sheet automatically. I didn't have the recording running, but we'll do that another time. So why it's initial is these are the initial call. And we're going to go through this and call it again because for this job, 106 is way too many photos. So select all. Hang on a sec. Make sure we're in the right window. Select all. 0. We're going to take all the off, and we're going to go run through this guy again. Like that. Don't like that. Like that. Yeah, we don't need those. That one's pretty good. That's way better than that. So, is that sharp? Yeah, okay. All right, we'll take that guy. Like that. Yeah, that one's way better. And that one's pretty good too. Let's we really cut this leg off. So things like this, you can cut a bit of the shoe off, but like there's a whole missing foot here, so that's my bad. I know. So as I say, you can see we've called it way down now. And color class red. So now we are down to 56. So we started at 387 and we're at 56. So Command Y, which is our thing. And we will go back a folder here. And so for anything going over to Lightroom, I call it NEFs, which is the digital file that a Nikon camera produces, the digital raw file. You can call it whatever, but call it the same thing so that you know where it goes. So it can be Queen raw files or NEFs or whatever the Canon version is, anything you like, really. So, but it only really works if you keep them the same every time you do it. So consistency is kind of the. If you call it a different file folder every time, then you won't. When you go back 2 months later to look for it, you won't know what it is. So there we go. And we just did a little spelling mistake there. Hold on. Okay, well, don't worry about it. We'll fix it. And we're going to copy that into a new folder. All right, so see it opens up, and we've got all of our original ones here. So since we're going to be using color codes for in Lightroom, we'll just get rid of that. 0. But 1, check to make sure that there's the information here, because otherwise these things will disappear in the system. Okay, so we are going to close all of this. And you can see the NEF sort of popped down at the bottom here, but I made a little typo, so let's fix that. And yeah, so that's better, just to keep everything neat and tidy.